You've tuned into Garage 33. Crank the volume as we talk all things Guardians of the Galaxy.
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
This week we have two new hosts. We have Daphne, straight from Scooby-Doo Club, and Simon from Alvin and the Chipmunks. How are you guys?
Hell yeah.
Sorry, I had to take those shots. Those are great names. I mean, Simon's a name that I know a few people, but Daphne, the only other two people other than Daphne here that I know is Daphne from Scooby-Doo and Daphne Moon, who's actually just a character name from the TV show Frasier.
Those are the two that I get the most. So, yeah. Old British lady name, in my opinion.
Yeah. So how have you guys been?
Good.
Pretty
I'm
good.
excited to talk about my favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah, Daphne and I have talked about this. I know Simon's going to have a different opinion than me, obviously, because you said that he's all things Marvel. And
Love
not
Marvel.
that I'm not. What's that?
Love Marvel. Like I like DC. Like I like Batman, somewhat Superman, but I'm more of a Marvel guy. I just get into it easier. It's just easier for me.
Yeah, I just like I cherry pick from the best of both. I'm not one more than the other. So, yeah, like I told Daphne, it's not that I think this is a bad movie. It's just my least favorite out of the Marvel group. So I know. See the look on her face?
I'm wounded.
All right. So Guardians of the Galaxy came out in July of 2014. It actually got released in the States in August, though. It's 122 minutes. It stars Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, depending on who you talk to, apparently. Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Lee Pace, and Michael Rooker. So what were your guys' first thoughts when you first saw this movie?
So, my history with Marvel movies, I was never really a big superhero fan, but mine and Simon's bonding experiences were going and seeing Marvel flicks because nobody else in my family wanted to sit through a superhero movie. So, me being the older sister, I would take Simon out and we would see any new Marvel movie that dropped. And Guardians of the Galaxy was probably the first one I sat through, and I left the theater going, I really liked that film. So I'm not going to come from like a know-it-all comic book superhero nerd. This is me just enjoying this movie more than other superhero.
I was like 8 or something when it came out, so I can't really remember my full-on like first-hand experience at the theater. Honestly, I didn't even remember going to the theater to watch it. But when I did see it, when I was somewhat of a kid that I can remember, I remembered being like, I remember when like Peter's mom died at the beginning. I was like, oh man, that's really sad, because I was like 9. And then later on in the movie, it got like really happy, and I remember having like an extremely good time with it. And as a kid, I wasn't as big of a comic book nerd as I am right now, but so it was like my first introduction to these characters, and I was like, wow, those characters are actually really cool. I hope they're in more stuff, you know. And I am pleased that they are in basically every Marvel project now. I'm very pleased with that. So yeah, I did really like the movie as a kid, and it's still one of my favorite movies of all time, just because of how good it is. I just love it so much.
That's a fair assessment, I guess. I was not 8 whenever I saw it. I thought it was decent. It was good. I don't care for the director, but we'll get into that afterwards.
Calm down, Simon.
We'll wait and get into it afterwards. I thought it was good. I thought there was too much for how serious the movie first starts out. It quickly takes a downward turn into a lot of silliness. And some of it's good, some of it's bad, but sometimes they went a little over the top with it. And that's just how I felt whenever I left. It was decent, but I thought they could have done better. So in the description from IMDb, this is horrible. A group of intergalactic criminals must pull together to stop a fanatical warrior with plans to purge the universe. That sounds more like Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, the first half of it was right. Like, yeah,
Yep.
they are criminals. Like, it was right on the money. But then at the end bit, I was like, okay, that's really broad. Like, that does seem more like an Avengers thing. Like,
Yeah,
they
because-
weren't specific with it enough, you know?
Because Ronan was more about purging that one planet.
Yeah, he just didn't like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
So
Xandar, he just didn't like it. Yeah.
here's a much better version. A group of unlikely heroes who band together to save the galaxy. A story follows Peter Quill, a space adventurer who steals a mysterious orb and becomes a target of a powerful enemy, including the villain Ronan the Accuser. Along the way, he crosses paths with a tough assassin named Gamora, a vengeful warrior Drax, and a bounty-hunting duo Rocket and the talking raccoon, and Groot, a gentle tree-like creature. I think that's a little bit more better description of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
By like
100%.
a lot.
The movie took, budget-wise, it was $232 million, which is pretty decent, just over.
Yep.
And had a box office of $773 million. So I think he did all right.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah, I think it would, yeah.
Yeah. And director James Gunn. So
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Guardians of the Galaxy, like, I know Chris Pratt is a big name now, but at the time of Guardians of the Galaxy, all of the actors and actresses in Guardians of the Galaxy, they were at best B tier. Many
Zoe
even no
wasn't.
name.
wasn't Zoe already in Star Trek at that point? The
I
first
only
one with
kn-
Chris Pine?
Gamora. I only
Yeah.
know her. Yeah, I only know her as like she played in Avatar. I don't even know, but
And Bautista was a famous wrestler.
I don't count that. I know that's a form of acting, but I don't count that as acting. I don't really care for any wrestlers. Like, I don't like The Rock. I don't like.
What about Bradley Cooper? You don't think he was famous at that point?
Okay, yeah, Bradley Cooper for sure. I think this is kind of skipping some questions, but I think that's why I like the movie so much, is because none of these are big A-list actors other than Bradley Cooper, but he does voice a CGI raccoon.
That is
so,
true.
and to me, when I first watched the movie, I didn't even know it was Bradley Cooper
Yeah,
until
to be fair, I didn't know it was either. Just like I didn't know it was Vin Diesel.
he. What are you talking about? That was Groot.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Lee
Wait,
Pace.
Vin Diesel plays Groot? Vin Diesel plays Groot? I didn't know that.
you picked the two best hosts.
wait, I never caught that. Oh my god.
Are you serious right now?
I'm 100% serious. I didn't know it. Okay, it's not my fault. He's full CGI. What the heck?
I thought you were just joking.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
At
that's
all.
it.
He's like sitting there silently trying to figure out where he was in the film. Like, I don't.
That's exactly what I was doing. I was sitting there. I was like, was he Ronan? No, he couldn't have been Ronan. I don't know who he was.
No,
Oh my
he's,
god.
I feel like the only time that you can like when he says "We are Groot," it sounds a
Yeah.
little bit like him. But in I can't remember if it's the second or the third one where he says "I love you." That's when you can really tell that it's
Yeah.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, not that I want to get into the other movies yet, but all right. So let's start with recasting. If you were to recast this movie in 2012, 2013, when you're, let's just say you guys are the directors, who would you choose for all the top people?
This is actually the one question that I was really stuck on, because I think the one reason why I liked this movie was the cast. I think Chris Pratt did a really, really good job as Star-Lord. And even though I said, I'm not really the biggest fan of WWE fighters, like getting into the acting, like not the biggest fan of John Cena, not the biggest fan of The Rock, I think he did really good as Drax. I mean, because to me he embodied, like, I don't know, I think he did a really good job. But I'm gonna skip because I actually have no idea. So Simon can go ahead.
Well, clearly, I think. I think Daniel Craig should play Gamora. He would be perfect for the role. He's just a perfect actor. I'm kidding. I have no idea, honestly. They're all just such good actors, and I seriously can't. I stuck with the movies and the characters for so long where I can no longer imagine them as someone else.
Right.
Honest to God, I just found out Vin Diesel was Groot like 2 seconds ago. I can't really recast him. Like, I don't know.
I will say for Gamora, if I was forced to recast, the only other lady who looks good as an alien that I know of is Jennifer Lawrence. Because she played in that X-Men film. So she would pass. I think Zoe, I'm not even going to attempt the last name. I think she did a good job. So it's hard. For me, I couldn't answer the question.
So you're basing your recasting on somebody else that looks good in blue
Yep.
paint?
Yep.
Or paint?
Yep. Well, because as I said before, I think the biggest reason why I like this movie, the one thing. So I actually said this to Simon the other day. I said the one thing I think Marvel does very well is they cast the perfect people. Whether you think the movies are too jokey, and I do agree, I think a lot of the Marvels are really jokey.
Whoa, I didn't say all the Marvels.
I think all of the Marvels are a little too jokey. And I also think I'm not the biggest fan of Disney as of late, but they have done an incredible job casting all of their movies. I can't imagine anybody else other than Robert Downey Jr. being Iron Man, for example. I can't imagine it. So I think they do a really, really good job at casting.
Did you know that the most of the people that ended up getting the spots weren't even the ones that they originally wanted, though?
So who did they originally want?
Well, hang on. I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and give you the people who I would have cast.
Okay.
If you're not allowed to get the other ones, right? So, Quill would have been Jake Gyllenhaal. He can still be actiony, like you've seen him in
Roadhouse, yeah.
Well, yeah, Roadhouse, where he's still comical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I'm drawing a blank on the other movie I was thinking of. The Day After Tomorrow. Played it very serious, but he was really young in that one. Gamora, I would have chosen Charlize Theron. She's very actiony. She just did The Old Guard and The Old Guard 2. And she also did the Maximum, not Maximum, I was going to say Maximum Overdrive. The Mad Max remake with only one arm. Groot, I would have made Kevin Michael Richardson. He's a voice actor, and he's fantastic. And his voice, his natural voice, is just as deep as Vin Diesel's. So he would have had a very similar take on it, I think. Rocket could have been Seth Green. I don't know if
Okay. Yeah, okay. For me, Groot doesn't matter. At least in the first film, it doesn't matter. But you know what? Now, going off of the Ryan Gosling thing for Quill,
Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Well, no, because my answer would be Ryan Gosling, because I also think he's very good at doing action, but also comedy. I like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
I think he would do a good job.
Yeah.
I think Jake Gyllenhaal would be a good Star-Lord. I'm trying to imagine it, and I'm like, you know what, he would be great.
But Chris Pratt has that rugged face. I don't know. I didn't read the comics, but the way
my problem isn't necessarily anything to do with the comics. Is because I keep picturing him from Parks and Rec when he was a little bit chubbier and stuff. So when I see him, I'm like, I'm waiting for him to fart.
We got pretty close.
Yeah, so I mean, I keep seeing him doing I love watching outtakes and stuff, and the stuff that he does to his castmates. That's what I keep picturing when I'm watching him, just on the regular, right? So.
Yeah, I think my final answer is I actually probably wouldn't change anybody, and I think that's why I like this movie so much. But I think Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Gosling are two good picks for Quill, and Groot. You could put anybody.
What about Drax then? If you had to pick another kind of musclehead.
A musclehead, yeah.
John Cena.
No, I would not. If we're gonna go away from WWE, but still a musclehead, I don't think he would do a good job. But Mark Wahlberg comes to mind, but I don't think he would do like as good of a job.
No, I think he's
Ew.
too small.
Yeah, and
Like-
also
Yeah.
like way too comical.
Yeah, like he's got.
He's not like a numbskull. That's a problem.
I picked Alan Richardson.
Okay.
So I actually had to go back and see how, because I know from like old movies that he wasn't big like he is in Reacher. So I had to go back to 2012, 2013 to see if he had started putting on weight yet at that point. And he had. He'd still have to put on more weight, I think, but as long as he's given the role early enough to put the weight on. Same way how Henry Cavill had to put on a bunch of weight for Superman, right? So
Yeah.
as long as they have that foresight of, okay, I need to get bigger like now. So
Yeah.
I think a good Drax. He plays another Marvel role, and he's fantastic in it. But Josh Brolin would be an amazing Drax. I'm trying to think because the voice, like, I know he plays Thanos, but like his voice just makes it like I'm trying to like picture his voice as Drax. I'm like that is like a Draxy like voice. Like he would be a good Drax.
I'd agree if Thanos wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, like if Thanos wasn't there, he would be a good Drax.
Plus, you'd have the Thanos sounding smart and evil, and then all of a sudden you got to go to kind of dumb, kind
Yeah.
of too literal with the way how the race is, right? So,
yeah.
what about Nebula?
Oof.
This
But
one
can
was
I
a
be
hard one
honest?
for me.
Because she's so make-upped and CGI'd, I don't even know who plays her.
Right, but you got to. It's not just about how they look; it's about how they act, right?
But I don't even know who the original actress is. Do we know? I don't.
I feel like I should. I've looked her up a couple times, and I should know this.
Her voice is good, but the girl who played Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four,
Oh, the new one.
she would have made. I thought it was the same person for a split second, but I think she'd make a good Nebula. But again, I don't know her name either.
Yeah, the actress for Nebula was great. Like she was great, and I do agree with Daphne. The girl from Fantastic Four would also be great. Honestly, I don't know who to recast. The cast was just so good that I don't know who I would recast with who. I don't know. And also, I'm not like that familiar with actors' names. Like I can't just like point and be like, oh, that's so and so. Like I can't just think of that on the top of my head. Like it's like I don't know. So I can't really think of anyone to recast anyone in this movie.
Right?
I didn't actually like Nebula very much.
No.
Really?
No, I knew I know she's important and she's like, she needs to be in the story, but again, I don't know her name, but her voice weirded me out, kind of gave me the ick. I wasn't a big fan.
She kind of had that long push to her voice.
Yeah, like she was
Yeah.
pushing something out.
It was almost like Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batgirl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Batgirl.
Yeah, not a big fan.
Yeah, she was she's a complicated character with being divided from her dad because clearly he likes Gamora better, even though Gamora's not an actual sister, and she's trying to get his approval, and it's not going well, and the one that has the approval doesn't want it. So
Right.
yeah, she's definitely a complicated character. I actually had Kate Beckinsale to play her, just because she's also actually so she could have the fight sequences.
Yeah.
So Kate
Nice.
Beckinsale and Charlize Theron fighting. I think that'd be all right.
Yeah.
And then what about Yondo?
Yondu.
Last one.
Oh, again.
Wait,
he's such a
no,
good actor.
never.
Yeah, never.
No,
He's such a good
don't
actor.
touch him. I love him. I love him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. You can put anyone anywhere else. Don't touch him.
Okay.
I really liked him.
He was.
So I had Ron Perlman or William Dafoe.
Nope.
Willem Dafoe, man. Okay, I'm sorry. No. Now that's just too far. No, like that's Green Goblin. You can't touch him. Like
Yeah, but
Willem
it's a different
Dafoe.
universe.
You know
I
what?
don't
Okay,
care
he,
if it,
he would work. I wouldn't prefer it.
Willem Dafoe really, Daphne. No,
He would work.
He wouldn't work as Yondu because Yondu's supposed to be like trashy, and he's supposed to be like he's not really supposed to be like crazy, cackling, goofy. No, he's supposed to just be like seriously stupid. Like he's supposed to not really be taken seriously, and he's stupid in the movie. So that actor does play that accent very well, but Willem Dafoe, like, I just wouldn't be able to unhear his voice. Like he has such a certain type of voice that doesn't fit Yondu whatsoever. And that actor that plays Yondu is just so perfect. And also, fun fact, he plays in like other roles in like James Gunn's other movies. He plays as multiple roles in like the James Gunn movies. So it's nice that he's also there as like a big character. So I can't really just say no, he can't play Yondu. Like, he's such a good actor. Like, don't touch him.
He is a good actor, and he's in all of James Gunn's stuff because they're really, really good friends.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why he's in his stuff. This isn't. It's just a game just to see who else you could play. Like, say these people, like none of these other actors, like Pratt, Zoe, Dave, all those guys, not available. That was all that this was, right?
Oh yeah.
Hot take: Ryan
Okay.
Reynolds as Star-Lord.
Okay, no, now get out.
I like him a lot. I like him a lot.
He's great, but then again, I'm gonna quote my older brother Noah here. Every time Ryan Reynolds is gonna play a character, it's just Ryan Reynolds, but with a slight accent change, maybe. But it's always just Ryan Reynolds playing Ryan Reynolds in movies, and I feel like he wouldn't play as Star-Lord. He would be playing as Ryan Reynolds in a space costume.
Which is hilarious to say that because Ian has the exact same take with the new Deadpool movie that came out.
I mean,
Ryan
he's a great
Reynolds-
Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds
He
puts
is.
too much of himself in his movies, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's very little difference from movie to movie to movie, other than his outfit. Like
Yeah.
if you go all the way back to say like Van Wilder, that's Deadpool, but on a college campus. Mm-hmm. Like
Yeah.
I don't mean the stuff that goes on, but just the way how he is and his sarcasm and just
Yeah.
the stuff that he does. So yeah, he takes a couple of fighting lessons, and all of a sudden he'd be Deadpool, right? So
Yeah, I feel
Free
that.
Guy. In
Yeah.
Free Guy, he's literally just Deadpool, but minus the profanity and in a blue shirt.
yeah,
Like, that's him.
the only movie that I ever saw him in where he wasn't Ryan Reynolds, the movie name will come to me, but it was like it was a dead serious movie. It wasn't comedy at all, and he played a supply teacher, and he came in and he was dying of cancer.
Oh, shit.
So and he played it fantastic. This is why I don't understand why he doesn't do more serious stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's still a perfect Deadpool in my book. Like, he's an amazing Deadpool. I love him as Deadpool. I can't imagine him not as Deadpool, except for the except for the voice actor Nolan North, who did play Deadpool in like the cartoons. Like, those are like the only two people I can imagine as Deadpool. Everyone else I can't. Like, it's such a specific character. Like, it's an acquired taste in order to cast Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool's the next episode, okay?
Okay, yeah. sorry. We're going on a tangent
Let's
here.
get back on to Guardians.
All right. Okay. What was your favorite scene?
Okay. I know. It's the prison break. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie. Only because I think that's the switch point for the movie. I think it goes from being really serious and super intro-y, like introducing all the characters, and that's when you see them really just like band together, like, and it shows each character's strengths. So you see, Rocket, and he's rewiring and he's turning off the artificial gravity, and you see Gamora fighting, and you see Peter Quill paying the guy for his leg. So you see the team form, and you see the team work together, and I think that's when the movie takes a turn from super serious to this is the actual Guardians of the Galaxy. This is what it should be, in my opinion.
Simon?
That's a good scene, but honestly for me, it will always be the opening scene to the movie, where Star-Lord lands on the planet, and it's opened as this very serious, bleak movie where it's like, oh, this is going to be like another superhero movie that's made in like the like 2010s, like 2012 and stuff like that, because Zack Snyder was starting to make DC movies around that time, and it's starting like as this very serious movie, and it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. But then immediately after, you just see Chris Pratt dancing around and goofing around, and it sets the tone where like it is a serious movie at heart, but it's gonna get overlaid with goofiness because that is what these characters are. They're just goofy morons that don't know what they're doing, but have a serious reason to do what they are doing right now. So that whole opening scene was just illustrating the tone of the movie, and it was getting you ready. It's like, yeah, this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna be emotional whiplash of very serious moment to goofy moment, serious, goofy, and it's just gonna keep on switching like that on a dime. So that's why I like it a lot, because it really sets the tone of the movie immediately.
Yeah. I mean, when I first started watching the movie, I remember when I sat down and the movie started, I said, this movie's going to be stupid. I don't know these characters. This isn't like a big name in the Marvel universe. It's going to be stupid. And like you have Bradley Cooper, the biggest actor out of all of them, voicing a raccoon. Are you kidding? And then I found the beginning a little jumpy because they're trying to introduce every character, and it's a big information drop, and it jumps from character to character, character to character, and if you don't know the characters previously, it's a little hard to follow. But when they're when they're doing the breakout, it goes from 0 to 100, and it's like, okay, now they are the Guardians of the Galaxy. And I also really liked the mini plot twists. You would think a big explosion was going to happen or something crazy was going to happen, but they just turned off the artificial gravity and was able to escape. I think that was cool. It was different than just fighting like every other scene or every other Marvel movie.
That just played into the strength of Rocket, right? Because of his lack of his size and strength, he's the smart one, right? So
yeah.
My favorite scene was afterwards when he didn't need the leg.
Oh my god, yeah.
And what do you need the leg for? Nothing. What was he like? Was he jumping around? So I had a really good laugh at that scene. So that was mine for sure.
I like when they brought that back though, when the final scene was gonna happen, or the final fight scene was gonna happen, and Rocket's like, "Oh, and I need this guy's hand."
Yeah.
And Star-Lord's like, "You don't need his hand." I like how they brought that back.
It was his eye.
Oh, his eye. My bad. Sorry. His eye.
Yeah, that was a great callback from the beginning, right? So
I enjoyed that.
I do like it when they do things like that. What about your most unbelievable scene / least favorable?
Like, least favorite scene?
Yeah.
Least favorable scene. I'm gonna say, and this might be a hot take, I didn't really like the end. Like, not the end scene, but I feel, and this is a common superhero trend, is they lead up to this huge fight, and Ronan is this big bad guy, and Dennis is this big bad guy, and I feel like it was just over and done. And I thought the whole dance off, like Chris Pratt, I thought it was kind of stupid compared to all the other fight scenes that they had. That
was mine too. I had the dance off was kind of, I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to buy Rocket some time, but it was so awkward. I was like I feel awkward, and I like the fact that when he turned to Gamora and tried to get her to come, she's like, she felt awkward, right? So
I just felt like I felt like all the other fight scenes in the movie were so much better than the final fight scene, and the final fight scene is where it should really kick ass, and I feel like they fell short.
Yeah,
I feel like Ronan was a little too easily defeated.
I honestly think that my least favorite scene in the whole movie is like the courtyard scene where they're all getting introduced as one, where like Peter tries selling the orb and the guy like kicks him out of the store, and you get introduced to all the characters. Really, like that's when you first see them, and they're all like fighting each other for the orb. Well, like Gamora's fighting Star-Lord for the orb, and then Rocket and Groot are trying to catch Star-Lord. It's a great scene. I just think out of all the other scenes in the movie, it is my least favorable one, because like it's just like by selection, because it's just like I loved the dance off scene. I loved that. Still to this day, I love it. The prison break was amazing, and then the opening was great. But this courtyard scene, like, it's great. it just dragged on for a while where it was like, okay, yeah, I get it. Can we like move on now? Like because but like it was still a good scene. It just dragged on for a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
What was your favorite line though?
Okay. So I have 3 quotes that, and I was so excited for this question because I think there's a lot of good one-liners in this movie. And I feel like the characters bounce off each other really well. So when they break out of the prison and they're all in the ship, Gamora starts talking about how disgusting this ship is, and it's so dirty and so gross. And Star-Lord turns to Rocket Raccoon and goes, "She doesn't even know. If I had a black light, this place would look like a Jackson Pollock painting," which I love because that is the most adult one-liner because I feel, and this is my issue with current Marvel movies, especially since Disney entered the picture, is very kiddie. Some movies can be very kiddie, and I like when they put in one-liners like this because Jackson Pollock, kids aren't gonna know,
Right.
but adults, or and not even all adults, but many adults or many older people will
I think
know
pretty much
and
everybody.
think that's funny.
See, that's something that they used to do in the 80s all the time. Like there was a movie back in God, what was it? Early 80s, so 83, 84, somewhere in there, called The Toy. It was Richard Pryor, Jackie Gleason, and I never got it as a kid because I was only like 7 when I saw it.
Yeah.
But Jackie Gleason, he was Senator Bates, and he was like a powerful man in the area, and the butler kept calling him Master Bates, and I never thought I never thought anything twice about it. Just said Master Jeffrey, Master David, Master Bates.
Yeah.
No, same idea.
I love when movies that like want to keep their PG or PG-14 rating throw in like quick little one-liners like that where kids aren't going to understand it. I really appreciate those because it makes me feel like, okay, it's not weird for me to watch and enjoy this movie. The second line I have is when Drax says,
Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast. I would catch it.
that's
Yeah,
a good one.
I love
That's
that
a
one.
good one. And then the honorable mention, in my opinion, only because this sound actually trended on TikTok for a while, was when the guard said, "What a bunch of a-holes." I have to say it. It's not my favorite line, but I have to say it only because that sound actually trended on TikTok for a while. Oh, sorry. I have one more. When they're at the very end, not at the very end, but right when they are like, they're sad and they feel defeated and whatever, and they all stand up and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight." And Rocket's the last one to stand up, and he finally stands up. He goes, "All right, so we're all standing now. Just a bunch of jackasses standing in a circle." That was good too. I like Rocket's lines. I find him funny. So yeah. Sorry, that's me.
Simon?
Well, of course, like the reflexes line, like it's just such a good line. I have a lot actually. I'm thinking like I have like 5 right now. Well, one that definitely sums up the movie is Gamora in that very same scene. Actually, right after what Drax says, she says,
"I'm gonna die surrounded by the biggest idiots in the galaxy."
I just feel like that sums up all the characters in the movie because it just sums up every single character, and it's just such a good one-liner. The next one I have is, it's where I think it's after when Ronan stole the orb or something. Actually, no, when they found out what the orb can do, Rocket is like, "Why do you care if the galaxy is destroyed? Or what has the galaxy ever done to you, Quill?" And Quill's like, "Oh, probably because I'm one of the idiots living in the galaxy. That's why I care." I thought that was just a good line, because normally, like, villains and stuff, they would, like, destroy, like, a city that they live in for no reason. And my first thought is, like, okay, now what? Where are you going to live? Like, your property taxes are just going to go skyrocketing. Like, where are you going to live? I think, my third and final line is from Rocket. again, when the team's like all like sad and stuff, and like Groot just revived Drax, and Drax is being like all mopey. Rocket just looks at him and is like, "Oh boo-hoo, my wife and child are dead." Wah. I thought that was just so funny because it really broke up the emotional tension in the movie. And Groot's reaction is just so funny, where he's just like shocked that he would say something like that to a guy like 30 times his size.
Yeah.
Those are all my lines. I thought those were just really good.
Okay, the one that I had was just the I have 12% of a plan.
What percentage?
I don't know, 12%.
12%?
Yeah.
The reason why that also stuck out to me was because 12% was also used in the Avengers movie.
Really?
Yeah, so whenever Tony Stark says to Pepper, give yourself some credit, give yourself 12%. And they said an argument can be made for 15%, whatever, right? So then when I looked into it, the number 12 is used in a whole bunch of the Marvel movies, and it's one of it's the highest number that's only a single syllable, and I guess it's a comical number, according to James Gunn. So.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So if you could, if there were some changes that you would like to see, what would they have been?
Oof, I don't know. I really need to think about that one.
It's really hard to stick to just the first movie with a question like that.
We'll just pretend that you haven't seen the other ones yet.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea.
We can always come back to that one if you want.
Yeah, come back to that one. Come back.
Okay.
Yeah, come back to that one.
The film poster, what'd you think of it?
Meh.
Meh?
I gave it like a 7 out of 10.
I gave it a 9. I thought it was great.
I gave it about an 8, so I'm sitting between you two. I think like it's great. It tells me who's playing what, tells me kind of what's going on. I thought it was kind of Star Wars-y, which I liked. Like it gave me Star Wars vibes, which I enjoyed. But when I look at a movie poster, I like more symbolic movie posters, or I like more simplistic movie posters, so I'm still kind of guessing when I walk into the theater. That's just my take.
Yeah, I do like the movie poster because from a visual design perspective, it's very nice. Like the characters are all lined up in a form of a triangle, like kind of like going out from like kind of like characters that are mainly side characters like Rocket, Drax, and Groot, and then Gamora, who is like the second protagonist to Quill, and then the big person at the top of the pyramid that they have going on there, like the bottom half of the poster is Star-Lord, saying like he is the protagonist. But I felt like it was very cluttered. Well, not like cluttered, just like a regular movie poster where it's somewhat cluttered, and it's like I'm more into simplistic designs and symbolic. The only movie poster I can think of right now that's like a superhero movie poster is that Spider-Man No Way Home poster, where he's sitting on the side of the building and like all the billboards are saying like Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and he's just sitting there in this rainy New York, and it's just that. I find that really like more interesting because it just shows like the tone of the movie and like the movie itself, and like it just shows everything that the movie's about in a very simplistic manner. While Guardians of the Galaxy's thing, it's a very generic superhero thing. Like I think they've used that template of like the triangle going out to like the person in the middle like 30 times in like all those Team Marvel movies almost. Like that's what I think, honestly.
Yeah, to me it was very much an 80s poster. Like if you go back to like some of the B movies, like obviously I'm showing my age here that you guys aren't going to know this stuff, but there was a movie that I used to watch called Ice Pirates. It was extremely cheesy, but the poster, that one was very similar, where it had like scenes from the movie kind of in the background, which is what this one has as well. It's like up above there's a picture of something, down below there's a picture of something. It all ties into the movie at certain points. So I think that's the reason why I like it. It just reminded me of 2 or 3 other posters from the 80s. So
Well, see, that poster behind you, Back to the Future, I prefer that one. I like
Yeah.
how simple it is. I like the simple design. But I liked how you could still see what's going on, but it still leaves you questioning of what is it. A movie theater poster that I brought,
this one's simplistic enough.
The Matrix.
The
Yeah.
Matrix, yes. It's not visually appealing to me, but yes. Well, the movie theater, oh my gosh. The movie poster that I was going to actually bring up as an example of stuff that I like is actually Kill Bill, which I'm not the biggest fan of Quentin Tarantino films. I did not like Pulp Fiction. I didn't even really... I know,
You're gonna
hot
get some
take.
hate mail on that one.
Hot take. I did not like Pulp Fiction. Not the biggest fan of any of his movies, completely honest, except the car cleaning scene from Pulp Fiction. That was good. But other than that, I wasn't the biggest fan of any of his movies. But the Kill Bill movie poster, very simple, yellow and black. You know, just, I don't know what the movie's about. You gotta watch it. Stuff like, simplistic posters like that are my thing. So I would give it an 8 because it was good and I liked how it gave me Star Wars vibes, but...
Yeah, speaking of the posters behind you, I think the Pulp Fiction poster is a classic. Like, it's just such a good poster because it just is, like, it's like the wording on it and everything. Like, it just looks very, like, I almost said 80s. It's not. Well, it's like almost around 80s.
Yeah,
I don't know.
90s,
I'm 18. I think that stuff is just a myth at this point. It's it's just very cool, like the font and everything. It looks very nice. It almost looks like a magazine, and
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I've always thought that it looked like. It looked like
Yeah.
the cover of a magazine.
it just looks great. And the Jaws poster, I'm sorry, that is perfect. Literally, it's
Yeah.
so simple. It is telling you the premise of the movie with two characters and also the contrast between the pure white sky and the dark blue ocean with just Jaws. It's perfect because it's just so simplistic. The contrast is there and it tells you everything about the movie before you even have it. It's like, okay, the shark's gonna eat this guy. That's the whole movie. That's so simplistic. It's so good. And I love that.
All right. Simon's really not gonna like this one.
Oh, so I'm ready.
Yeah. If you had to change the director, who would the director be?
I'm not answering that. I can't think of anyone else.
Daphne?
Can I be honest? I don't know too much about directors. I know Spielberg.
Didn't even sound like you said his name right.
I don't think I did.
Spielberg.
Spielberg. I
said,
don't think I can because I don't know too much. The only thing I can say is I know Quentin Tarantino. I'm not the biggest fan of him, so definitely not him.
All right, I said either J.J. Abrams, but that would give a much more serious tone to the movie. But
What
if you
movies did he did? Sorry, what movies did
J.J.
he do?
Abrams?
Yeah.
The new Star Wars movies?
Yeah, this Star Wars. He's also done some TV as well, but I don't know.
Okay.
Look it up. I don't have the list in front of me. And Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright would have a little bit more of the comedic tone to him as well.
Okay.
So that'd be
Simon?
Hot Fuzz.
I'm on the same boat as Daphne. I don't really know any directors. I only knew like Scorsese, Spielberg. I said that one right. And
James Cameron.
Honestly, I don't even know what he directed. I just know the name. And like Ryan Johnson.
Wait,
like,
I know James Cameron.
That, like I've heard of him,
Yeah, it's
but I just don't know it.
Avatar,
Yeah. I think he
okay.
might have done a good job.
the
I think he
Terminators.
Honestly, Edgar Wright, I searched up who Edgar Wright is because I knew I heard the name. I just didn't know what he did. He directed like Ant-Man, Scott Pilgrim, and Shaun of the Dead.
Yep.
I think he would have done actually a fantastic job in the movie.
Yeah, I
because
think so too.
his directing style in all three of those movies are similar to James Gunn's. Not the
Yep.
exact same, but they're similar. So I wouldn't say he would actually be a bad recast for a director. He actually wouldn't be terrible.
Well, he might have actually been better because, as far as I know, I only know James Gunn from doing superhero movies, and from what I've heard, the other movies that weren't connected to superhero movies were kind of busts. So,
Yeah, this was James Gunn's first big blockbuster shot. So he didn't really do anything big before this.
yeah. So, But you gotta start somewhere, and I think he did a great job at Guardians of the Galaxy, in my opinion. So
Well, yeah, like I love Guardians of the Galaxy, but I still think he did a great job. Yeah.
So the soundtrack in this is obviously pretty awesome. This is one of those, like I always say that soundtrack can quite often make or break a movie. So if it's a kind of a shittier movie, it makes it decent. If it's a decent movie, it makes it pretty good. If it's a good movie, it just makes it that much better, right? They've got a ton of good music in this one. They've got bands like Radiohead, Heart, Rainbow, Space Hog, Earth, Wind and Fire, Beastie Boys, Alice Cooper, Bruce Springsteen, a bunch more. Obviously, it's easy when you can just put it all on a mixtape, which is what's obviously happened in this. So I like the way how they kind of tied it all in and made it easier for them just to throw everything all together.
yeah, I think the soundtrack was absolutely perfect in this movie. I think, again, I don't know if this is as per comics, but Quill obviously has some sort of passion in music, and that's how he coped with his mother being sick and in the hospital. And I also think that the time, like the fact that they stuck with the decades, really helped, because that shows what decade he's from, really, and what decade he was taken away from Earth, because he is now stuck in that decade. That's the only Earth he knows, is when he was taken away and when he left. 80s. So, and he is stuck in the 80s, and I like how they stuck with that kind of music. And yeah, I think it's absolutely, I think the soundtrack, I think if they did have a bad soundtrack, I wouldn't like the movie, kind of like what you said, but I actually don't know if I would like it nearly as much as I do. It's a trend on TikTok where you go on the Guardians of the Galaxy like roller coaster, everybody guesses what song they're gonna get because it's randomized, and it's a big thing. And so yeah, I think the music really made the whole trilogy, in my opinion.
Nice.
Yeah, like Quill's character is built off of music because of like the Walkman and everything, and like the Zune and stuff. Like he has all that stuff, and I do agree with what you said. Music can make or break a movie. Like a movie I'm gonna bring up is Nobody. I don't know if you guys seen that movie, but it's a great movie, but the soundtrack sucks in it. There's only like one good song in it, and then everything else just sucks. And it actually did ruin the movie a little bit for me. Like it left a bad taste in my mouth because I was like, that song sucks in this scene, and I hate how they did that. So James Gunn is great with choosing his soundtrack for his films. Like Guardians of the Galaxy was perfect in all three of the films. His soundtrack was beautiful in all of them. And the new Superman movie that just came out, his soundtrack for it, again, was amazing. Like, he knows how to choose songs depending on the story. Like, playing punk rocker at the end of Superman, when the main line of it is that being nice is the new punk rock. Like, that's just so, it has symbolic meaning to a song that has nothing to do with the movie. Same with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, the whole, again, mythological standpoint here, 80s theme in in the movie is very symbolic to Peter Quill, since he was abducted in the 80s, so he doesn't really know anything in the 2000s anymore. Yes, Daphne, yes.
Which, I know we're not talking about the other trilogy, that actually made me mad in the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie when they picked a song from the 2000s. Dog Days Are Over, why are you playing that?
Oof.
Why are you playing that on a Walkman? That song came out in the 2000s. That
Well, to be fair,
made
he
me
didn't
mad.
have the Walkman. To be fair, he didn't have the
Or
Walkman.
the
He had the
radio,
iPod.
they played it on a... Oh.
He played
What's
on
your-
an iPod. He played on an
just-
iPod.
Which, again, to me, didn't make sense. That made me mad.
Well, that's kind of like my point. Yeah, I would never touch the music in this movie. The music actually did make this movie like a big thing for me, because without the music, it's just like another movie. You know, it's like another superhero movie.
Yeah.
So, do either of you have any kind of cool facts, little Easter eggs about the film?
That one scene where Peter is about to give the orb to the Collector and he drops it, that was actually accidental. He was actually just supposed to like give it to him in a really cool manner, but Chris Pratt slipped it out of his hands, so it just clanged on the floor and nothing. And that, I just thought that was like really funny. That's like the only like fun fact I knew about the movie, because I just found that so funny.
The name of his ship. Do you know the relevance of that?
What was the name of his ship again? I completely forgot. Like I had it on the tip of my tongue. The Milano.
The Milano.
Yeah. No, I don't. Tell me about that.
So there was back in the 80s, there was a TV show called Who's the Boss? And Alyssa Milano was a lot of guys' crushes back then. So that was one of James Gunn's crushes when he was a kid. So that's why the ship was named Milano.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The only fun fact that I have, which is probably another reason why I really like this trilogy, is I think Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, is the only Marvel character that's been able to get away with saying the F shot in a Marvel movie. And I know that's from the third one, but even the first one where he flips the officers off, that's like a big Disney no-no. So the fact that they kept that stuff in was pretty interesting to me. So I liked that.
Yeah.
When did Disney take over? Maybe that was before.
That's a good question. I'm not...
I believe...
What was Disney's first Marvel movie? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first, if not the first movie that was made when Disney took over. That's why that movie had a lot riding on it at the time. Because when Disney took over, like it was like the whole Avengers...
It was the Avengers 2012. So it came right after. It came right after.
It had like a lot riding on it after that because it was like you got to follow up the Avengers and you're like another team movie and the Avengers were a great team movie, so you got to like follow up with that or Disney's kind of screwed, and it did great, I think.
I know I know they said that just like the Guardians in general was going, like it was a big risk on that one. Like it wasn't that popular of a comic book. It the Guardians kind of made their way in and out of a lot of the books back in the day, but it wasn't until I think from 90 to 95 they finally got their own series, but then 95 they canceled it again, but still kept bringing them into other comics. And then I think it was 2008 they started writing again for I don't know if it's because that was the year that Iron Man first came out. So they thought, let's get these books going again. So
yeah. Well, which also basically says to the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy was literally an unknown group of, and they weren't even superheroes. They were just heroes. None of them really had any actual superpowers. If you're gonna like compare to Spider-Man or Captain America or Thor, like Gamora was a good fighter. Star-Lord shot a gun, and the only one that like you could consider super would be Groot and Rocket, technically. But they
Drax.
weren't really.
Drax
He's
has
just
like
a meathead.
superhuman
He's
strength.
just really strong. What does he do? Oh, superhero strength. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think, for it to be as successful and popular as it is, being as factually unknown, like to the point where they've canceled the comic series over and over, and unless you're a really, really big comic book Marvel fan, you don't know who they are. And the fact that they became so successful kind of speaks to how well the movies were done.
Yeah. That just like leans into James Gunn's like whole directing style where he takes unknown superheroes or just unknown characters in general and gives them a spotlight. Because here's my theory. I don't know why he does it, but here's like a little theory for me. He does it because he knows that the higher ups wouldn't do anything about it because they believe that it wouldn't make any money because there's no big names in the movies. So if there's like no big name character in the movie, they believe it's not going to do well. So that just leaves James to do whatever he wants with the characters and let himself interpret how the characters are supposed to be. Quill is nothing like his original. Like he might be like a little bit like personality wise as his original comic book character, but Quill was never like a music lover, and like he never dressed like that. Like he dressed almost like a soldier in the comics, but James saw that. He's like, nah, I want to change it a little bit. So he changed it, and nobody cared. And now people are actually adapting that Star-Lord now more than the original comic book one because that's what he's most known for. So it just goes to show you that like if their characters are unknown in comics, use them more. So that means higher ups wouldn't be like, you can't do that. That will ruin the whole character. Or no, you can't do that because people don't see him like that. And that just goes towards James Gunn's like whole directing style, you know?
To go to your point, though, I do think whether it's James Gunn or not, Guardians of the Galaxy was a necessary movie. At least the first one was, because that was, if I'm not mistaken, our real first introduction to Thanos. And because he is so strongly tied with Guardians of the Galaxy with Gamora and everything, and him being the ultimate bad guy for the Avengers movie, which is Disney's main bread and butter right there, I think Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of a necessary series to have.
Yeah,
Which
Thanos was teased a little bit.
Which came out first, this or Avengers?
Well, the first Avengers movies, the first ever Avenger movie came out in 2012, but Guardians of the Galaxy came out in 2014. So it's the first backstory we see with Thanos, because I think I would have to rewatch the first Avengers movie, but Thanos is technically introduced, but nobody but in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, he's further introduced, and then you also his two daughters as well,
Yeah.
which play a big part as well. So, in my opinion, like that's why I think it was necessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's more like known in this movie. Like in the other movies, he's more like a post-credit scene where it's like, oh, that's Thanos, and like the very end of the post-credit scene. But like in this movie, he's mentioned a lot more, and he's like actually shown a lot more.
Yeah.
Well,
for
they tell people what he's even trying to do, because if I'm not mistaken, the first Avengers movie, he might have been mentioned, but we didn't really know. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
he was
think
just there.
Thanos wasn't the main enemy in the first Avengers movie. So, he was almost hinted, and he was almost teased. But it wasn't until the first Guardians movie where the Infinity Stones were really like introduced and discussed and stuff like that. So,
Well,
and
not
Guardians has the one Infinity Stone, right?
Yeah.
well. So did Captain America.
Well, all of them had the Infinity Stones, but
Yeah.
Guardians was the only one that actually explained what they were. Like the Tesseract, everyone just thought that was a glowing cube that shot laser beams, and then
Right.
the Mind Stone in Loki's staff was used to mind control people. We saw them, but we didn't know what they were supposed to do until
Right.
Guardians 1, where the Collector explained all of it.
Oh,
So,
actually,
yeah.
if you were to recast the Collector, who would you change for that?
Oh, he's such a nothing character. I don't even know. Like, the actor's great as the Collector, and I love him as the Collector, but he was barely there in the movie, so I
Yeah, I
wouldn't
know.
really know anyone.
I guess the only,
would.
the only
go
reason
ahead.
I ask is just because I've always thought that Benicio del Toro looks very similar to Brad Pitt, so I would have just recast Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's
Yeah.
got such a wide range in his acting ability; he could do whatever anyway. So
Sure.
Yeah, I think Brad Pitt would have been a good choice.
Yeah.
You won me on that one. But that's just because he didn't really have a big part.
Yeah.
what was I gonna do? So I think I already know the answer to these ones, but so would you consider Guardians of the Galaxy a flip or a stick? If you're flipping through the channels, or do you stick on it, or do you just keep flipping?
Stick.
Oh, well, like, stick. But, okay, but if it was like I never seen the movie before in my life.
No, this
and
is
Oh.
for right
Like
now
if you
today.
watched it today.
Oh, yeah, stick, for sure.
All right.
Who would you recast as Cosmo, the dog?
I don't know, with
Super
dog. Yeah. I would have to go with that one. Honestly, my dog. My dog.
There was something else I was going to add. It was did you know that James Gunn was in the movie?
No, I don't
oh,
even
no,
know what
he-
James Gunn looks like.
He played like a... Oh, he didn't play Howard the Duck. No, he didn't play
No.
Howard the Duck.
He plays a masked guard or something. He's in there, but you're not going to know it's him.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And hold on a second, I got his name written down here because I know I'll screw this up. Graglin, which would be Yondo's
Oh.
right-hand man. Do you know who that is?
That's
Oh,
James Gunn's brother, is it
yes,
not?
Sean Gunn. Yeah.
Yeah, Sean Gunn. He plays in like all the James Gunn movies now. Like every single James Gunn movie there is, he's there as well.
It's funny because I just know him from Gilmore Girls. Not that I watched that.
What's wrong with Gilmore Girls?
Nothing. I'm not saying there is. So. But yeah, so it's just, I just forgot about one of these facts that I had written down here. So, all right. So we'll have to get together and do this again. You guys already have another movie picked out, apparently.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I would love to talk about the Deadpool movies.
I would
Deadpool.
love to talk about the Deadpool and Wolverine movie specifically because I have a lot of thoughts on it.
Because forget about Marvel, the first Deadpool movie is actually one of my favorite movies of all time, period.
Oh,
It's
the
like top
first
3.
one?
Yeah.
I don't know. That one's my least favorite. Well, of course, like Deadpool and Wolverine, but like Deadpool 2 was just, it was just so funny. I much prefer Deadpool 2 than Deadpool 1, honestly.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, let's
All
talk
right.
about that later.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks for coming on. And we'll
Thank
talk to
you.
everybody next time.
Yep, talk to you later. Bye.